Thank you for having us in your community.
Good morning, and locals to Pocatello. I hope you're having a great stay already.
Yeah, so I brought the weather with me.
I was wondering if you were responsible for that. I think it's changing tomorrow, so who's going to be responsible for that one?
Bill.
Okay.
Yeah, my fault.
Brent too.
I'm going to present to you our application. We, as the Pocatello Convention and Visitors Bureau, are very grateful for the funds that you have expended to us over the years. And we also are very grateful for the state of Idaho and the staff. They bring us a lot of opportunities with fam trips, with journalists. We just got 4 more TV shows that came out of Serbia. We had a Serbian journalist here in September. He loved Idaho so much, he came back, and I've gotten his CDs. He's using Idaho artists and giving them credit. I might have to share until I get one. Anyway, so we're very excited about all of that. And I'm giving you a wooden nickel, and I'm going to go into that shortly. So if you want to take a minute and look at the grant, like I said, we're very, very pleased that you're here with us.
You gave him 2 wins.
Is anyone done?
Yes.
And as you look through our grant application, you're going to see that there are only a few changes over the years. We are feeling that we are very, very successful in what we do and what we accomplish. I would like to now introduce you to a couple of my board members. I've got Mr. Kip Wilson here. He was Pocatello Shelby County District. And we have a new member, Mr. Jerry Savage. So I would like to acknowledge their presence and their support here today. We love the Idaho travel industry, and I'm going to tell you that Pocatello is on the verge of making some major changes. Not only do we have great business opportunity, but my community is starting to really focus on tourism. And as you can see by your little wooden nickel, we are bringing the chief home. Chief Pocatello died in 1884. It's time he comes home. We have 2 new hotels up online. There's talk of another 1 or 2. Our Pocatello Lodging and Association is merging with our restaurant business. We are trying to, instead of being divisive, we're trying to be collective. We have our cities that work together very well, Chesapeake and Pocatello, and now we have our Lodging Association and our restaurants. There's really extra value from coming into Pocatello because we work with cowboy action shooters, we work with step-on guides, and we work with cowboy poets. So that's the reason so many of the tour buses are staying in Pocatello, because they don't just go to a hotel room and have a nice little meal. They can be entertained, and by entertainment they will not get in any other city within 100 miles. And we work very hard to keep that relationship going. We also are working with the potato packers. Agriculture is very big. Tour buses all the way to Yellowstone are huge for us. This last week I've been working with a tour bus out of California who is looking to do agri-tours. So we're working with stockyards and with potato processors. Both of those are coming out of American Falls. Again, we're utilizing all the assets that we have within our whole region to make sure that people stay in Pocatello. And I don't mean that's a slam dunk to Idaho Falls. I'm just proud to be Pocatello. No kidding, huh? If you go into the advertising element, you can see that we have quite an extensive print ad, and I've broken those down. One of the new aspects, and we've always, of course, gone with the Idaho Travel Guide and Real America, because for us, Europe is a huge asset. Particularly as we go into this next campaign, we are going to become more and more valuable as a destination. We are going to be doing a statue of Chief Pocatello, and you're going to see that in an element. Part of my advertising request is for a color book, which I'm kind of, I always believe that you steal from somebody, you don't have to invent the wheel. This was something put out by Youth Ranch several years back. It has history in it, it has text and pictures, and we're going to be asking for monies to make another color book of Pocatello, of the Shoshone Band people, and the heritage that we have here in our area. Not only to intrigue the kids, but to get their parents intrigued. And I believe wholeheartedly, you cannot preach to the world who you are until you know it for yourself. And my community is starting to learn who they are and what they represent. If you look at now element 2, basically we are going to the same shows: American Bus Association, NTA, AARP, Teams, Go West, RMI, NASC, and SYTA, which is a new one for us. It's a youth organization. You can see we hit very hard that target market that we need, and that is the group tour market and the sporting world. How many of you have ever been to Holt Arena? Yeah, that is an asset, and we utilize that as much as we possibly can. We have a sales director that is a magnificent ambassador for sales of sporting. I couldn't talk to a sports person to save my soul, but Raul Cato, who is our sports director, is awesome, and he goes to these shows and he sells it. We're bidding again for 2010 on the World Horseshoe Tournament. It was here in 2004. It's our turn to get it back. That was a huge capital gain for us. If you go into element 3, the website, pretty much it's a standard per se of what we've been doing, just upgrading, maintaining, marketing. If you go with fam trips, again, we want to expand our boundary, and this one is a little loose. I don't have the breakdown costs, because these fam trips, as Karen knows, come up pretty sporadically. When we got called from the Serbians, or when I get called by the Italians, we jump to the gun, and we have to have some funds there to do that. And our local lodging association, because of the merger with the restaurants, we're going to want next year to go into some training for those frontline people, for those sales directors, and for those managers, so that when someone walks into their respective business and says, what is there to do in Pocatello? They don't say, oh, I don't know. We want them to be knowledgeable about what kind of assets they have in their community. And then if you go on to the collateral material, we're going to reprint that brochure again. It has been hugely successful, and as I remark in here, that we were able to take 4,000 of those brochures that would have been outdated, and because we just simply slipped out the inserts, we were able to save over $2,000 because it cost us $127 to replace the inserts. So it's a very affordable way to advertise. Plus our restaurants, or our hotels love it because they use it in their campaigns, and they can take out that logic guide so that their competition isn't being advertised at their expense. And so it's a very economical, very affordable area that we can advertise. And my final request is something very new. And as you can see, I've got pictures here of the chief. We have started a campaign. This has been going on for 4 years, and the chief is now 90% done. He will be erected out of our visitor center in July of this year. The Shoshone-Bannock tribe is partnering with us. We partner with them on a lot of advertising, like the 99 Things to Do in Yellowstone and other advertising. They're probably one of our greatest assets and partners. They are in the process right now of building a huge 2 new casinos. And so you're going to see some real draw into our area. I can either become their competition or I can become their partner, and I'm choosing to be their partner. Chief Pocatello, like I said, was a renowned Shoshone chief, and my community really hasn't done a lot. You know, we could be a Cody or a Deadwood if we choose to be, because Pocatello has got so many stories that we can capitalize on and encourage people to stop and stay and visit. This will be 16 feet tall, it weighs 8 tons. Right now you can see that it's on the base will be carved out later, and it will go to the visitor center in July. So we believe that with this kind of campaign and the excitement that is being generated in our community, that we will become the next Cody, Wyoming. That we will be Pocatello, Idaho, and people will know who we are and what we represent. The wooden nickels that you see, we're campaigning those at the schools. You can buy those for as little as $1, and your name will be in a book with feathers, and I can talk about that there. So everybody from the child to the adult to Chris King with AMI, who just put up $5,000 for this project, everybody can contribute, everybody can take ownership of this project. And that's why the community is rallying on it. So in a nutshell, that's pretty much my requests. And I would entertain if you have any questions.